What's up guys, Dustin McDangles back here with another video, and this is actually going to be a different little playoff breakdown as we're going to be breaking down the Eastern Conference Series. We did miss the uploads last night of the breakdowns of the games. Was not home, but we are here now, and we're going to break down both the Tampa Bay Carolina and the Boston New York Islanders series here in today's episode. And if you guys are actually new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on any future action. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the breakdown here of game number 4 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Carolina Hurricanes. So as you guys can see, and I'm sure a lot of you actually watched, Tampa Bay with a crazy good performance. Might have been a little lucky with some of the breakdowns from Carolina in this game, but Tampa Bay able to be victorious in game number 4, 6-4 against Carolina, taking a 3-1 series lead in this thing. As you can see, they're 6-4, but really the breakdown of the playoffs here right now, we'll take a look at this entire series through the 5 games, but really in game number 4, I mean, the second period was the talking point. 8 goals in one period. It was back and forth. In the first period, Carolina weathered the storm. They took the 2-1 lead, and then in the second, things just bursted open. Carolina, obviously they had 4 goals in the game, so it's not like the lack of scoring is really the issue for Carolina. The main issue for Carolina being that they cannot stop Tampa Bay and their depth. I mean, Tampa Bay has crazy depth, and we saw it last year in the playoffs in the bubble, and we're seeing it again this year. Their fourth line with Tyler Johnson is on their fourth line, and he had that very big goal in this game. It was Tampa Bay's 4th goal of the game, and I think that was really the momentum killer. There's about 2 to 3 minutes left in the second. Great tic-tac-toe, big goal there for the 4th line, and I think that really boosted the morale of Tampa Bay, as well as being at home in front of your home crowd, getting the energy buzzing off of any goal is going to be huge. But that was a massive one in this game. But again, Carolina, they don't seem to have an answer for Tampa Bay's depth or even their top lines being able to try and stop the top players such as Kucherov, Point, Stamkos. Killorn this playoff year has been absolutely crazy, and Carolina doesn't seem to have an answer for it. Again, they have great defensemen, Slavin, Dougie Hamilton, Pesce, Jake Bean. I mean, they have great defensemen on the back end. It's just they can't find a way to break them down and stop those top players for Tampa Bay. And really for Carolina as well, the one thing that I've been really noticing in this series is the lack of, I wouldn't say hockey IQ, but the lack of defensive awareness when it comes to exiting the zone. You've seen a bunch of times, and I'm sure you guys saw in game number 4, some of the goals where you're breaking down, you're losing the puck at your own blue line, and you already have 2 men flying the zone, where Tampa Bay has a 3-on-2 created just off of that chance. And you saw time after time with at least 2 of their goals in this game, especially that backbreaker from Stamkos at the end of the second, where Hedman pinches, there's already Carolina guys leaving the zone, and it's basically a 3-on-2, tic-tac-toe, and we know Tampa Bay is very good at doing that with Kucherov sending it over to Stamkos, the little clutch hold, fire into the back of the net on edge, and that's all she wrote basically for that game. It's mistakes like that are really killing Carolina, and any team in the National Hockey League, you can't be doing that, especially away from home. And even if you are at home in the NHL, you can't be making those crucial breakdowns. There's 2 places in the ice in any hockey game at any level where you can't turn the puck over. It's going to be exiting your own zone at your own blue line and entering the attacking zone. If you have a turnover there, there's going to be a very good chance that the other team is going to counter with a chance to score a goal. And Tampa Bay, you can't give those chances to Tampa Bay because they are going to make you pay every single time, as not only the defending Stanley Cup champions, but with a team with the depth of the 4 lines up front as well as on the back end. Most likely, more often than not, Tampa Bay is going to find that puck into the back of your net, and you're going to be obviously paying for those mistakes on the scoreboard and in the series. And we see it here, 3-1 for Tampa. As we get ready for game number 5, it is going back to Carolina. Carolina does have the home ice advantage the rest of this series, basically with 2 games at home, if need be, if it goes to game 7. But I think with where this thing is going, just the way Tampa's playing, the way Carolina's playing, if Carolina can't figure it out and minimize those mistakes of losing the puck at their own blue line, as well as not being able to really hem in and handle the top players of Tampa Bay, this thing is looking like it's going to be over here in Game 5, and that is actually going to be my prediction. Tampa Bay is going to get it done. I'm going to say 5-2 in game number 5 against the Carolina Hurricanes to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year in a row. So again, let me know what you guys think down below. For this series, we're going to take a quick look now at the stats. Again, Kucherov leading the way, 8 points, Aho with 6, Braden Point 4 goals, Aho 3, Kucherov 6 assists, Slavin 4, and then the plus-minus Dougie Hamilton with a +6. Pretty good to see, but the goaltending here really has been, I think, one of the bigger underlying stories in this series is Vasilevsky. He's been on fire. He's been classic Vasi. 928 save percentage, 7-3, 246 goals against, very good. And obviously Carolina with the bouncing around of Nedeljkovic and Mrazek. Nedeljkovic throughout the playoffs 4-4. He's got a 920 and a 218, which isn't terrible, but he hasn't looked very good in those first 2 games. A lot of the goals were kind of sus. He honestly should have been able to stop a few of those, but hey, that's what you got 2 goalies for in Mrazek. He's got an 873 with a 390. 1-1 in this series. Does Carolina go back to Nedeljkovic for Game 5 to get a little spark? I don't know. I think the call there is you do, just with his stats throughout the playoffs and maybe sitting these last 2 games away from home and getting him back in front of his home crowd, maybe be a nice little breather for Nedeljkovic to relax, regroup, and maybe come back and steal this series. Who knows? I think they will start Nedeljkovic in the next game. We'll have to wait and see, so that will be interesting as well. I think, too, as well, in this series, Carolina has that ability to bounce back, and you can see it game by game. They find that way to crawl back in a game, bounce back, score some big goals, but are they going to be able to do that throughout the series? And I mean, at this point, they're down 3-1. They're going to have to do it. I still don't see a way that they're going to be able to beat Tampa Bay. But again, Carolina has that little knack ability of being able to crawl back in a game. Will they be able to do it in this series? I don't think so. Again, I think Tampa's going to win the next game. But that's my breakdown of the series. Let me know what you guys think, as well as my prediction. Do you think Tampa Bay is going to take the next game as well? Let me know, but let's go ahead and hop over to the Bruins and Islanders series. Getting into the next Eastern Conference series, guys, we've got the Bruins and Islanders, and this thing has been a back-and-forth series with each team winning a game in their opposing barn. So again, it's pretty dead even. The last game, obviously, I would say was a very back and forth tilt, but the Islanders coming out on top 4-1, 2 empty net goals, so really 2-1 game. The Barzal goal there at the end was pretty crazy, honestly, a little unlucky for the Boston Bruins as that puck fell right to Barzal after that block, but honestly, great play from Barzal, which he's going to be one of the players we're going to be talking about here in this series as he has shown up, guys, and that is actually huge for the Islanders. They were able to get through the Penguins really without Barzal being a factor, but here in this Boston Bruins series, Barzal has been on fire. He's really starting to wake up. It's going to be a little tough here for him and the Islanders, just because with the Bruins, you've got Pasternak, you've got Bergeron, you've got Marchand, you've got Taylor Hall, you've got Coyle, you got DeBrusk, you got McAvoy, you got some big-time players where you have a little bit more, I'd say, superstar depth, whereas with the Islanders, again, you have Matt Barzal, you have Jordan Eberle, a little bit older, you've got Josh Bailey, you've got Brock Nelson, you've got Beauvillier, who's been really outstanding. I think one of the players they're really missing for the Islanders is that Waldstrom kid, rookie. He's been playing great. He's got a little salt and pepper to his game where he's got some skill and some speed, but he also has a little nasty side where he can get into it a little bit with checking and throwing his body around. Another key player, I think, who's been pretty great in the playoffs, which you see on the board here for goals, is Kyle Palmieri, who they brought over from the Devils. He's been playing great as well as the Islanders' back end. They've been playing great. Dobson, Green, Pelech, Pollock. I mean, all of their defense have been playing great. And on the other side of that, you have the Bruins' top line, where they're pretty stacked. They have some pretty good depth. Craig Smith has been stepping up for the Bruins this playoff year as well. Who knows? He might be playing through a little bit of an injury. But again, this series is very entertaining to watch. Obviously, 2 passionate fan bases with the Bruins and Islanders. It's really tough to say where this thing is going to go. Again, with Barzal waking up, is that going to be enough to help push the Islanders? Are they going to be able to keep the goaltending going with Varlamov in net? Just because Sorokin did fall apart a little bit in this series, I'm assuming that's why they went to Varlamov in between the pipes, and then you've got Tuukka Rask, who's playing like Tuukka Rask. I mean, when Tuukka's on, he's one of the best goalies in the league. I'd say a top 5 goalie in the league for sure when he is on fire, and you see it this playoffs. Some of the goals, obviously, goalie can't stop everything, but he's seen the puck well. He's playing great. It's just a matter of unlucky bounces, maybe a screen here or there where, again, you can't stop everything, and that goes for both ways. With Sorokin and Varlamov, you're not going to be able to stop everything that's thrown at you. You just got to do your best, and I think the edge I would have to give to slightly is going to go to Tuukka Rask, as you can also see the numbers. Again, save percentage, pretty spot on, at least throughout the playoffs, but that goals against is pretty big there, I would say, with the 194 versus a 248 and a 232. Again, Rask has the edge, and you can even see in the games he's making saves that goalies shouldn't be making. He's seen the puck like no goalie should see through screens. So again, if the Bruins can continue to push on here with their depth, with, again, top line Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, and then you've got, again, Sprinkle and Taylor Hall, Charlie Coyle, David Krejci finally got his first goal of the playoffs. So I'm really waiting for David Krejci to take off and him be the difference maker in this series and in the playoffs moving forward, because he is always a playoff killer. So look for David Krejci finally getting the monkey off his back to really push this thing moving forward for the Bruins, and I think they'll be able to get this done, but I think it will go the distance going to 7 games. So entertaining series. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm super excited to watch the rest of this series. Who knows where it's going to go. We'll do some playoff game breakdowns on these guys. It's just some nights haven't been able to do so with them specifically, but we'll get into their games here moving forward. But again, let me know what you guys think on the series here so far. Who's going to win it? Who's going to be the biggest difference maker? Is it going to be Barzal? Is it going to be Marchand? Is Krejci going to step up? Is Taylor Hall going to step up? I know he had a big tilt with a fight in the last game. Is Rask going to be the difference maker? Is he going to steal the series again? Let me know what you guys think down below in this one. Who you think is going to be the biggest difference maker, and who's going to win this series. So we'll get into an Eastern Conference Finals breakdown as well once these series come to an end. But that is actually going to be it for this episode today, guys. I will be coming out with another episode later of a breakdown of the Jets and Montreal Canadiens game number 3 in Montreal. Who knows where that series is going to go. I could have done a video on that as well, with the Jets just falling apart just due to injuries, suspensions after game 1. It's been kind of crazy. Who knows? Will the Jets be swept? That'll be interesting to see as well. But again, that's going to be it for today's episode, or at least this episode today. I hope you guys have a good one. And as always, stay dusty.